Goat stream time. Gonna take a sec here to make sure that I'm online, and then we'll get started. Okay. So yeah, should be a fun stream. Should be a fun stream. Gonna do a couple of things. One, I'm going to be playing some Angel Chaos, which I'll get into why I decided to play and play Angel Chaos on this stream, and then we're gonna play some viewer decks that were sent in. So yeah, so just to remind people, I'll say this. Try to get the message out there to make sure people know. But if you either sub to me on Twitch or become a YouTube member, I will pretty much do whatever you want. I'll play your deck on stream. I'll review your deck and say like, oh, here's what I think you should change. Or I can do like a duel review of a match that you played previously and tell you what you did right, what you did wrong. So, I think that's pretty valuable. Other people think it's pretty valuable. I've already got like 3 Twitch subs in the last week. So yeah. So, get in line, people. All right. So, Angel Chaos. So, what led me to decide to play this deck for today's stream is I actually had 2 people, independently that messaged me and were like, yo, man, I'm winning a lot with Angel Chaos. So I'm like, well, maybe they're onto something here. And the 2 builds they gave me were a little different. I mean, with Angel Chaos, like, I don't know, like 37 cards are staples, essentially. But there are some differences between their lists. So I sort of took both their lists and decided to play this list, which maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I'll get into it. So first, actually, I think we're going to talk about, like, what Angel Chaos has going for it, like, right now in the current meta. Obviously, like, I don't know, I mean, by today's standards, actually, like, Angel Chaos is, like, a pretty old deck in GOAT format, right? Like, I created the deck in, like, 2017. So this deck is, like, almost 4 years old. And yet, like, among the people who play it, like, they get pretty good results. It's not super popular, but the people that I know that I'm playing it are doing pretty well. One guy, at least when he messaged me a couple of days ago, he's ranked top 10 on Dueling book right now. And he was like, yeah, I'm like 20 wins, 3 losses with Angel Chaos, and I'm ranked in the top 10. So that's pretty impressive. Then I got another guy who, I don't know, I forget how many games that he won, but you say he was winning like more than 80% of his matches. Not like super high ranked, because like he's not like a hardcore grinder. But yeah, I've had 2 people that are like, I'm just winning a lot with this deck. So I think the reason why is like a couple of things. Basically, I think one of the strengths that Angel Chaos has always had, and I think still has, is that the deck is really good against aggro. And aggro is, like, pretty popular right now. So it's kind of interesting, because you sort of have... Obviously, like, everyone knows about Warriors, which is an aggro deck. And, again, deck's always been good against Warriors. A lot of their cards, like, aren't that strong against you. Like, I don't know. Even Mystic Swordsman level 2, like, isn't that great against you. Ninja Grandmaster isn't that good against you. And you just basically, like, have to survive, and if you can get to, like, the mid to late game, you'll just overwhelm them in card advantage. But then, we kind of have, like, these new aggro decks on the scene that are, like, almost like aggro decks that are, like, built to beat the mirror, where it's like, oh, I'm playing, like, 3 Berserk Gorillas, 3 Royal Decrees, so that, like, versus Warriors, you can, like, run over the Kaiku's Decree, like, stops all their traps. And Angel Chaos is pretty good against that kind of aggro deck, too. It obviously wasn't originally built with these, like, newer school aggro decks in mind, but it does happen to be good against them. And I think like an interesting theoretical question is if everyone's playing like 3 decrees, like how many traps should you run? Because obviously if you play like a bunch of traps, your traps are gonna like all get negated by decree, which isn't good. But then if you play like no traps and decide to play decrees yourself, well obviously decree isn't good versus decree either. So it's like, well, if playing a bunch of traps isn't good against decree, and playing no traps with like a bunch of decrees isn't good against decree, then what is good against decree? And I think the answer is something like this, right? Like 4 or 5 traps. So, you're playing like few enough traps that like if you're against a decree deck, you can, I don't know, you can like discard them to graceful, or, at least like hopefully not draw multiples. But it's not, but then like against the decks that don't play decree, like you'll still draw like some traps and be able to survive the early game. So I think like, again, like sort of coincidentally, this deck happens to be good against like the newer aggro decks. Now maybe against like the Gravekeeper deck, like the Royal Decree Gravekeeper deck, maybe that not so much, just because Necro Valley is kind of hard to deal with. But yeah, let's talk about some of the changes, because like there aren't that many. I mean, there's not like a lot to talk about, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe there is. So I'm not playing Call the Haunted. Among the 2 people who are playing this deck, one was like, no, I still like Call the Haunted. The other said, no, I don't. And I think Call still could be okay, but it's definitely like not as good as it used to be, right? Call could still be good, but it's about as bad as it could possibly get. You got some people who are like playing a bunch of decrees, and like Call isn't good against that, obviously. Like playing 5 traps is better than 6 against a deck with decree. The Gravekeeper deck plays not only 3 decrees, but also 3 Necro Valleys, so your Call is going to be super dead against them. And then, like, in the Chaos Mirror, like, a lot of things end up banished, so, like, Call isn't really that good in Chaos Mirrors either. And then, like, the Warrior decks are all playing Kaikus, and so you don't really want, Call against that either. So yeah, there's just, like, not a lot of reasons to play Call. I mean, it still does some things that, that I like. The main thing that I like about Call, and this is going to sound kind of weird, but the main thing that I like about it is it allows me to better player on Mirror Force, which might sound like totally unrelated, but it lets you play around Mirror Force in the sense that, like, sometimes your opponent has, like, a face-down monster that you really want to attack over, and they have, like, a set spell or trap. And you're like, well, if I just try to attack with one monster, it might get Saku'd and then their monster will live. But then if I try to attack with 2 monsters, they could Mirror Force both of them. So it's like kind of a 50-50. But if you have Call set, you can just attack with your one monster, and then if they like Sakuretsu armor it, you call it back in the battle phase and still get to attack. So that's like the main thing that I like about Call. The guy who said he was still playing Call in the list said that he liked it for like reusing flip effect monsters, where you go like end phase Call, on Faith, and then Tsukiyomi it. But yeah, overall, we're cutting Call here. I don't think I'm gonna miss it very much. So then instead of Call, we're playing Creature Swap, and I'm not necessarily like a huge fan of Creature Swap in this kind of deck, but I think it's pretty good in the meta right now. Because, again, like, you have these Warrior decks, and Swap's good against them. You have all these Thunder Dragon Chaos decks, and Swap's good against them. And versus all of the, Decree aggro decks, like, Swap's pretty good against them, too. So, I feel like Swap's just such a great card in this meta, and, like, we have, actually, all of our Swap targets are right here, right? Sangan, Angel, Serpent, 2 Tsukiyomis, that's a lot of swap targets. We got 2 Scapegoats, that's a swap target. Spent Flip Effect like Magical Merchant, that's a swap target. So I definitely feel like we got enough targets to support it. But in decks that that I normally play swap in, I like to have like more back row hate than this. Like I like going like end phase, dust your back row, and then I can activate swap and know they're not gonna chain goats or chain compulse or something like that. But yeah, I mean we're gonna try it. It's like I didn't want to play two because these situational cards I kind of like to play just one of. That way we can sort of save it for the good situation, then get in a position where like, oh, I have to use swap. So then the other changes, Kaiku over Skilled Dark. And I think like 90% of people would just agree that Kaiku is better than Skilled Dark. But I don't think it's like super cut and dry. And again, among the two people who've been doing really well with this deck, one of them is still playing Skilled Dark. So let me talk about like some of the advantages that Skilled Dark has. So when I originally built this deck in like 2017, the meta was all like Goat Control and Chaos Recruiter. So I was like, Kaiku seems pretty good in that meta. So in the original build of this deck, way back, I actually did have Kaiku instead of the Skilled Dark. Partially because I was just biased against vanilla monsters. I'm like, Skilled Dark's a vanilla, I'm not playing vanillas. So I started out playing Kaiku, and then I just like got into all these awkward situations with it. One awkward situation was that I would get my Kaiku snatched, which was like really brutal. And like if they have Snatch and we have set Book a Moon, like yeah, we can book our Kaiku to save it from Snatch, but then it only has like 700 defense, so they can like just run it over, which isn't great either. So part of it was like just not wanting to get my Kaiku snatched, and part of it was sort of leaning more into this deck's strengths, which was sort of a really solid, flexible early game. And Kaiku is, like, if you're going first, like, you don't really want to go, like, summon Kaiku, like, set a back row pass, because it kind of, it just puts you in a position where a lot can go wrong, whereas, like, if you do something like Skilled Dark, set Book a Moon pass, you, again, like, Skilled Dark's better with Book. With Skilled Dark, you can also do things like you can set it to bait cross out, whereas with Kaiku, that's like not such. It's just not really a thing that you can do. And also part of it too was I was like, well, Skilled Dark attacks over my opponent's Kaikus, and also back then a lot of people were playing Abyss Soldier, so I was like, well, Kaiku doesn't attack over Abyss Soldier, Skilled Dark does. So the reason for this change is one, just to try it, because I haven't tried Kaiku in a while, and I don't know, some people seem to think it's good at least. And just the monsters that people are playing kind of have changed. Like, people don't really play Abyss Soldier anymore, so being attack over that isn't much of a concern. Obviously, like, being able to attack over an opponent's Kaiku is definitely still relevant. But that mainly only comes up, like, versus the aggro decks, and I feel like we're already pretty strong versus aggro, so we don't necessarily need to, like, make our deck even stronger by playing Skilled Dark. And the other factor that I took into consideration was that, like, a lot of the aggro decks are just playing Berserk Gorilla anyway, so, like, if your opponent's monster is, like, a Berserk Gorilla, or in the case of Gravekeepers, it could be, like, a Spear Soldier with 2,000 attack. If their monster has 2,000 attack, having Skilled Dark versus Kaiku is essentially the same thing, right? Your monster's gonna get run over either way. So, I think Skilled Dark is better versus Warriors specifically, but I think versus basically, like, every other deck, Kaiku is better. I guess Skilled Dark is also better versus Goat Control, but, like, no one plays Goat Control anymore, so that's not much of a concern. So, yeah, so those are the changes. We could just play, like, the second Dakochi over Kaiku. That's an option, too. I don't like doing that because in Chaos Mirrors, I think something that a lot of people don't understand is like in Chaos Mirrors, a lot of like cards just sort of get banished. I mean, okay, I guess that's obvious, but like you'll both be like cross outing each other's stuff, and like if that happens a lot where you're both just like sorking and cross outing each other's cards, the person with like more threats left in their deck is usually like more favored to win in that kind of game state. So the point is that like if I cross out my opponent's Takochi, but then I have to banish two of mine, that's like hurting me in the Chaos Mirror because now my deck's threat density is decreased. So that's kind of like the reasoning behind only playing one Dakochi. That's kind of always been the reasoning. And it's still the reasoning. I think it's still good enough to play one of, but like you just don't want to like have, cross out their guy, have to banish two of yours. Obviously, like with Faith that can happen, but like Faith is too good like not to play multiples of. And then also I think like one of the misconceptions with this deck is like a lot of people cut merchants. I mean, the two people that I know that have done really well with this deck, they didn't cut merchants because like they understand the fundamentals of the deck. But like a lot of newer players who maybe like don't really understand how this deck works will like immediately cut merchant, which is a huge mistake. People point out that like merchant can mill sorcerer, but like that's actually a good thing. I know that might sound strange, but think about it this way, right? Like there are some chaos decks right now that only play two chaos monsters in the first place. Even like Thunder Dragon chaos decks, some of them will just play one BLS, one sorcerer. Which the point that I'm making is that like you can mill one chaos monster and still be fine. You can still be fine because you got two more. Like this isn't some deck where you like need to play all three of your chaos monsters to win. And as far as Benji's question here, sorry, I've been trying to like explain the deck and I haven't paid attention to the chat so much. But as far as Benji's question regarding the Sakus, I mean, this is fundamentally a control deck. Like, if you answer all of your threats, you win. That's like kind of the idea at least. So like, okay, like maybe if they attack Angel, you don't mind, but like everything else in the deck, you kind of do mind. There's definitely like still a lot of threats that you want to be Sakuing, whether it's Kaiku or Blade Knight or Berserk Grill or whatever. So yeah, I mean, two Saku's kind of always been the standard in this deck, and I don't think that's gonna change. Like some people will try to cut Saku for like Dust Shoot. Yeah, the reason why it doesn't really work is because in most matchups we're the control deck, and Dust Shoot is better when like you're the aggressor and you're trying to put pressure on your opponent. Like Trap Dust Shoot is inherently an offensive card, whereas Sakuretsu Armor is a defensive card. And with this deck, in most matchups, you're going to be on the defense. Now, I mean, I still have it cited because when we're playing against Thunder Dragon Chaos and when we're playing against Reasoning Gate, we are trying to be the aggressor in that matchup. But in every other matchup, we're not trying to be the aggressor. So as far as the side deck goes, Roll It, Barrel, and Jowget are like the two cards that you have to side. Like it's basically mandatory because they're just such good Angel targets in certain matchups. Even for the aggro decks, you could consider siding two Roulette Barrel. I've done that before. So if you are expecting to see a lot of aggro decks, just go ahead and side two Roulette Barrels. It's a good card. Then as far as like sort of the matchups that we're preparing for and what my thoughts were, I think the worst matchup for this deck, and the people that played it like kind of agree, the worst matchup is probably like Thunder Dragon Chaos. Now, when I say worst matchup, I say that in the sense that like if the opponent understands how our deck works and is a very good player, like your average draw isn't going to beat their average draw. So anyways, sorry, I'm getting distracted from the chat. So anyway, so I wanted to have some sides against Thunder Dragon Chaos because versus the good players, you can't rely on them just punting to win. So that's like Kaiku, Mystic Swordsman. One of the guys was actually maining Zaborg in his list, but I decided to just side it instead because, again, I like it versus Thunder Dragon Chaos, but I don't like it versus anything else. So to me, that's a side deck card. You know, Mystic Swordsman, Mind Control, still there for that matchup. Dust Shoot's also there for that matchup. So, like, you kind of, against Thunder Dragon Chaos, almost sort of transition into, like, more of an aggro deck. Like, you sort of side out some of the more passive cards, like Dakochi, and, you know, you just bring in, like, the Mystic Swordsman, and you just sort of attack them a bit more. Yeah, that's kind of the idea there. And then for the, like, Thunder Dragon Chaos decks that play Metamorphosis, you know, so, like, Mimic Chaos versus those decks, the side is pretty similar. I mean, you could side Azura for that matchup specifically. The problem is that, like, one, I think, like, that matchup is fine. And then, I don't know. I just don't think there's a lot of decks we need Azura for, right? Like, okay, it's good versus Mimic Chaos, but that deck isn't, like, super, super popular. I mean, it's, I don't know, I guess, like, the third most popular deck. But I don't think it's, like, insane enough that we have to side it. And then Azura's also really good versus Monarchs, but, like, that deck's not very popular either. Everything else, you just don't really want it. And then for, like, anti-aggro, kind of my strat has always been, like, Decree plus Smashing Grounds. And I think, you know, versus the aggro decks that play Decree themselves, like Zombies or whatever, the Zombie Decree deck, it's basically the same thing, except obviously you don't side in your own decrees, right? You still side in Smashing, and you still side in, like, Goats, because it gets under their decree, but then you just still leave in all your traps. So I think that works out kind of well. And then, yeah, I already went over Dust Shoot. You do want Dust Shoot against Reasoning Gate. I mean, it's not, like, insane, necessarily, but, like, it's definite. You have, like, a lot of dead cards to side out, right? Like, versus Reasoning Gate, like, Nobleman of Crossout shit. Heavy Storm is shit. So you have a lot of cards to side out. So, you know, you side in Dust Shoot, and then you side in, like, Curse Seal for Reasoning Gate. And, you know, basically the idea is, you know, in the early game, you Dust Shoot back their monster, you Curse Seal one of their key spells, and then that's usually good enough. I mean, versus Reasoning Gate, you also bring in Jowgen, which is really strong. And then you bring in the third Goats, which is pretty good. I mean, Azura is okay against Reasoning Gate, but the problem with Azura is it, like, just attacks for 17 every turn, which is like a 5-turn clock. No, 6-turn clock. I don't know. Basically, it gives them plenty of time to just draw outs. Like, against Reasoning Gate, I don't want to waste my normal summon on Azura. I kind of just want to, like, wall on Shining Angel. But yeah, Curse Seal is, like, just for all the combo decks. I mean, if you don't expect much combo, you can side something else. But honestly, there aren't, like, a ton of great, like, side deck cards for Angel Chaos, like, in comparison to, like, some of the other decks. And I also have, like, this one Dust Tornado, because the Decree meta is awkward. Like, you have these decks, like Gravekeepers, for example, where, like, you don't want to side in Decree against them because they're Trap Light, but you do want to side in Dust Tornado against them to kill their Necro Valley. Yeah, that's mainly it. I don't know. I mean, the side can maybe be improved, like, a little. There's probably a couple of cards that should be changed. But this is, like, the basic idea. You have, like, you know, a couple of, like, anti-aggro cards. You've got, you know, a few anti-chaos cards. And then, you know, down here, you sort of got, like, your anti-combo and alt-win cards. I mean, I think that covers most of what the chat brought up. So, yeah, we're gonna give it a shot. So, give me a sec. I need to log into my other Dueling Book account here so we can do the Watchers thing. What is going on here? It's like, Dueling Book has been a little laggy for me today. Okay, there we go. Actually, I'll talk about this later on stream, but I think Nobleman of Extermination is a garbage card. It amazes me that, like, so many people have, like, decided to main or side it. Like, I wish I could, like, give a counterexample of, like, but it's good in this one deck, but, like, literally there isn't a single deck in the format that I would want to main or side Nobleman in. Oh, and as far as the person who asked, do you have any interest in other past formats in Yu-Gi-Oh? Not really. I mean, I know some people like playing Edison format, but, like, Edison's a little too degenerate for me. I mean, I know by, like, current format, like, Yu-Gi-Oh standards, it's not degenerate at all, but in comparison to GOAT format, it definitely is. Like, the fun thing about GOAT format to me is that, like, yeah, you have, like, some decks that are kind of, like, lame or broken or whatever, but, like, most of the decks just, like, aren't that strong, right? I mean, this is why, like, games last until, like, turn 20 or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, occasionally I do have people ask me that, like, oh, what about other formats? Like, GOAT format's fine, you know? It's weird for some reason. Alright. Oh, okay. So yeah, this is obviously a very strong going first hand. Speaking of Nobleman, it's like, I don't know, me personally, like, I almost like it when someone, like, hits, like, a Mirror Force with my Nobleman of Extermination, because then it's like, I get to find out if they have Mirror Force or not. You know what I mean? Like, the fact you have to, like, banish your own traps is, like, such a big downside to me. Yeah, Matt just got, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe he's on some sort of aggro deck, but he didn't discard Faith. He's trying to, like, set Sega to bait, like, I don't know, like an Exiled Force or something. It's weird that he just went, like, MST into no follow-up. For some reason, all, like, the sounds are glitching, too. Okay, so he discarded the Dark. Yeah, that didn't work out so well, because, like, the Sangan bait didn't work, and then he hit the crossout off the Graceful. I'm just gonna Saku this tomato. Yeah, so we just did is put the dark in our grave. And how many darks does he have? I mean, he has no darks. I mean, we're gonna play BLS. I'm just thinking whether we banish his guy or not. Probably don't. Like, I think since 2 chaos monsters are gone, we probably would just rather. Yeah, probably just rather get in the 3,000. Okay, I mean, I guess he's just, I don't know, I guess he's playing, like, Chaos Turbo with, like, a Nobleman of Extermination for some reason. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of unfortunate, because, like, our opponent's, like, last card was Decree, and then we, like, topped one of our 3 traps. Yeah, then we, like, draw this dead card. AR draws are just kind of shit. I mean, believe it or not, I did think for a while about whether or not... Oh no, he actually did have the dart, because we killed Tomato. So yeah, I don't know, our opponent just drew really well that game. We can definitely get him post-board. Indoors, I don't know what you're asking about. Stay using this account. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Yeah, I mean, I don't need to switch Dueling Book accounts anymore because my hand isn't showing, or at least I don't think it is. I'll double check, but... Yeah, you guys still can't see my hand, which was... That was what was intended. Oh, this is a pretty good hand. I mean, in order to answer your question, I mean, Dueling Book doesn't really explain how the rating system works, and it's extremely non-intuitive. So yeah, I don't know if that matters. Like, problem is I don't get much volume in on this account, so like... Yeah, I don't really get much volume in on this account, so like I'm never really gonna have a super high rating. Yeah, I mean, the rating system is kind of garbage, but... Alright. Yeah, that's actually fine. He took our DD Warrior Lady for the record. Yeah, I mean, like, Nobleman, to me, it's like, the problem is that the card's just worse than MST. Or not, worse than MST, worse than Dust. Steven, on my simulator, the rating system's just gonna be ELO, but if you run your own league, you'll be able to, like, set the parameters. Like, this guy's just sitting here, like, assuming that he knows what I'm gonna send back. Yeah, it's funny. The logs actually say that he sent BLS to the bottom of his deck. So, in theory, you know, I probably shouldn't want him to shuffle, because now he might redraw it. Yeah, it even says it went to the bottom. I mean, that's not what Dust Shoot does. Just Shoot doesn't say send VLS to the bottom of your deck. It says shuffle it in. Yeah, I swear, like, almost any monster, and we're just back in the game. Yeah, but you guys can't see my hand, but it's, like, just all cards that don't deal with Tomato and Mimic. Oh my god, just take your turn. Okay. Okay, so I think we should be good now. I wonder if his set is like ring, and that's why he was being so aggressive. I mean, I really don't know. Yeah, I mean, I just can't beat ring, unfortunately. Because, like, I have 3 lights in my grave and no dark. It just sucks. It's like, it's one of those games where it's like, I know exactly what my opponent has, but you just can't really play around it. I mean, our opponent wasn't, like, very good. It's just that, like, my hand was, like, cross out, mind control, metamorphosis, chaos sorcerer. Yeah, I mean, Carl, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, it literally got to the point where, like, 1 in 5 matches was a stream sniper. Like, a 5-minute delay does nothing. Like, literally, a 5-minute delay is like 1 turn. They still know your entire hand. So, it's like, I don't know what you guys want from me. You know, on one hand, when I stream and show my hand and have, like, a stream sniper, like, every other match, people like, oh, well, what do you expect? You're just showing your hand to the world. But then when I don't show my hand, people complain about it. So it's like, either way, I'm an idiot, right? Either way, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot if I show my hand, and I'm an idiot if I don't show my hand. And yeah, 5-minute delay does nothing. If you're gonna have a 5-minute delay, you might as well have a 0-minute delay. Ugh, man, my hand's kind of shit again. I mean, ironically enough, like, Angel Chaos has some of the most, like, low variance opening hands in the format. And yet, you know, here I am. Who plays Mimic and Dust Tornado on the same deck? I don't know, I guess probably just Mimic Chaos that's playing Dust Tornado for some strange reason. But yeah, we're not off to a great start here. Our opponent's up a card, he's already put a Dark in his grave. Not off to a great start. And he has Snatch Steal, which I happened to... I guess Snatch Steal isn't too bad. Well, let's see, like, tributes for Air Knight. He's tributing for Air Knight. Yeah, this is not great. This is not great. I guess it's probably just Goat Control with Mimic. Okay, I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, it's like he just knows that we don't have a way to deal with this Air Knight. It's funny because, like, Air Knight's such a bad card in this meta, but it happens to, like, obviously still be pretty darn good against us. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I just have to say go. I was hoping I don't know. I mean, we can still win. We can definitely still win. It's just going to be very difficult. Because, like, in this matchup, you kind of need to be ahead on cards. Like, there's some matchups where if you're behind on cards, you can just sort of, like, not really care, but this really isn't one of them. Oh, if he has Ring, that would suck. I mean, I guess the plus side is if we just, like, lose here, he won't know what deck we're on. I mean, he can eliminate some possibilities, obviously, but... You know, he won't really know for sure. Alright, so... We're definitely gonna snatch this Air Knight. I'm just thinking, like, what else do we do? Man, if I had more life points, I would, like, have much better plays. We probably just want to attack the Assailant. Just because, like, I mean, obviously gets the Assailant off the board. I don't really want to let him search a Sangin. And then at least now we don't have to worry about him killing our Snatch Steal, so... I mean, Crossout is gone. He might have said it because he has another. But, unfortunately, there's not much we could do. I mean, my hand's all monsters, so I can't even, like, try to bluff a Mirror Force. Oh, no, Mirror Force is already gone. Or bluff a Scapegoat, I guess. Is he just going to tribute for another Air Knight? If he does that, I think we're living. Yeah, I mean, if he goes... I mean, I guess if he has meta... Oh, no, he's gonna, like, go meta... Tsukiyomi. I'm debating just conceding, to be honest. I don't know, we'll show him the Shining. He probably has, yeah. I mean, theoretically, it was correct to concede there. But our opponent might have just not had the Tsukiyomi. So yeah, I mean, we just kind of drew shit again. I mean, in this matchup, we literally side 0 cards, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Kaiku's not that strong in this matchup. But I don't think we have anything better to bring in. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, we just drew kind of bad that game. And people ask me, like, why I run, like, Sakura 2 armors. Like, this is why. Like, if we just don't die to nonsense like that, like, we usually win. I mean, that was how we, like, lost, like, all the last 3 games. You know what I'm saying? Like, last guy just, like, beat us down with, like, Mystic Tomato and Mimic. Like, if that doesn't happen, you usually win. Which is, you know, it's why we try to draw some defense, not just have, like, 5 monsters in our opening hand. But yeah, well, let's try to get the next 2. I mean, our point seems decent. He's rated, like, 700-ish. Yeah, this hand's pretty reasonable. Our hand's not broken, but it's solid. I mean, Go Control's not that bad. Like, I mean, I actually just, if you're like a good player with a good side deck, like Go Control's pretty good. I mean, I don't agree with Air Knight necessarily, but like Go Control's not a bad deck. I mean, ironically enough, we're basically playing a pretty old deck ourselves. And yeah, I was debating whether to cross out there. The reason I decided to cross out is because, like, if the Angel gets Saku'd, then it's like we have to cross out in main phase 2 anyways, so it's like... Yeah, I mean, I don't think Air Knight's that great either, but... Yeah, of course he is Sinister. This isn't too bad for us. Yeah, this is actually... Yeah, I like how the game's developing so far. I'll tell you guys why in a sec. Just in case this guy's stream sniping, I don't want to reveal my hand. That's the thing, even when I don't show my hand on stream, I have to be careful about what I say, right? So I was gonna say, the reason why that I like how this game's developing is because we have the one Kaiku in our deck. So if this set card is like a Dust Tornado or Scapegoat, like we just get to banish the Sinister, which is really good. Oh man, yeah, this guy is... This guy is not gonna be having a good day. I mean, poker, keep in mind, in poker I play the micro stakes, and the micro stakes you don't bluff too much, but, you know, I look for good bluffs. And then, yeah, we have the Saku for the Tsukiyomi. So yeah, Saku is definitely a good card to protect our Kaiku. If this Kaiku goes through again, oh man. Okay, he's got Call for Tribe. It'd be good if we had our own call. We got plenty of options here. We got plenty of options. Indoors, in this list, I'm not playing Call or Pre anymore. I don't know if you missed the profile. But Call is better generally because you can use it in battle phase. And it doesn't cost 800 life points. Say if I wanted to play the Sorcerer yet, but I don't think we can get punished for this too hard. Getting rid of the tribe is also kind of nice, because, like, it means, okay, he can't, like, premature the tribe later. Which can sometimes be good. Like, now they've activated goats, we don't have to worry about him going premature tribe, OTKS. And it's weird, he went Dust into no follow-up, which... is kinda strange. Keep in mind here we can banish our own goat if we want to. So I'm not really worried about getting goat locked this game. I mean, his goat's definitely bought himself some time. But we're obviously very ahead on cards here. Yeah, it's just like burning all of his spell or trap removal. I think, yeah, I don't know why this. Like, there's no reason to just waste your MST there. Like, it's basically an option select to just hold it for a few more turns. Obviously, there's nothing we can chain, right? Like, we can't, like, chain Ghost because our field is full. I mean, we could chain Book on our Sorcerer, but that's, like, literally it. Yeah, I mean, some people will just, like, play all their cards. So I wonder if he'll choose to attack one of our tokens here. Okay, he is. Because some people would just leave us on 4. Alright, so one Tsukiyomi's gone. I mean, he's probably playing 2, especially if he's, like, playing kind of an older list. He's probably just playing 2. I don't know, I think this is probably fine. Like, I don't see too many ways this can go badly for us, especially because Sinister's gone. Because if Sinister wasn't gone, he could just set Sinister to just block hits every turn and gain a bunch of life points. But since Sinister is gone, the only way for him to gain a bunch of life is to just have another Scapegoat. And, like, one's already gone. And even if he does have Scapegoat, we still do get to attack goats every turn. I don't know. It's either, like, activate Snatch or just pass. Oh, okay, that works. Yeah, that's fine. He got our Dekochi there. Hey, we're still ahead on cards. He has 4 to our 4, and, you know, we draw 1. We're also ahead on life when neither of us have used Ring. So that's pretty relevant. And again, just the fact that, like, his Sinister's gone is pretty big. Oh, and he does have the Tsukiyomi. That's pretty annoying. So yeah, he's just gonna attack a goat, flip the whatever. Okay, so we know that he has Tsukiyomi. Yeah, that's the second Tsukiyomi. So if we get rid of that one, then all the Tsukiyomis are just gone. Yeah, we'll just say go here. Gotta do some weird plays here, I think. Pot of Greed's not great. I think really the only thing I need to be worried about this game is Air Knight. love ringing your... This guy is... Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna end phase ring your Thousand Eyes. You smoking crack over here? So the reason I do that, basically, is that, you know, as long as he doesn't have Air Knight, he just has no way to get rid of his Thousand Eyes. And also because, like, dealing 11 damage is pretty relevant, right? I mean, we're ahead on life, so we definitely want the ring to deal damage. So yeah, I mean, he can, like, book his guy and take our guy, but that's fine, right? That's just a 1-for-1. So yeah, I like having both Tsukiyomis gone, because Tsukiyomi it's one of like the best cards in this matchup. Like for both of us, it's kind of one of our power cards. Obviously, I haven't drawn any yet, but we've already gotten rid of both of his. So it's kind of interesting because it's like we're technically behind on cards, but like he's used better stuff than we have. So let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna try to take the face down monster. Because if he goes like Tribute for Air Knight, flip Faith, that's not great for us. If he set Sengen here, that's actually a really good bait. Okay, it's DD Assailant, which is fine too. I mean, we could just kind of like sit here and do nothing for a while. It's possible we might get duoed, but like, I don't know. My hand isn't that insane, so if he duos us, he duos us. I mean, we can also potentially just deck him out, because we do have 2 more cards in our deck than he does. Like, I'm not saying it's super likely, but like, you know, it's possible. Yeah, we do have a lot more life. That's definitely helpful. Yeah, I mean, I think we're very favored to win in this position. Doesn't mean that a win's guaranteed by any means, but our opponent's just like already used up a lot of his good cards, and we have not. Fortunately, I'm not like drawing any of the cards that I really want here, but you know, we can afford to wait. We can afford to wait. I do not have the light in my grave indoors. I mean, I can get a light in my grave if I need one, but I don't have one right now. Yeah, I'm still not drawing like any cards that I want. Like, one of our Tsukiyomis would be pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of interesting, because, like, in these control mirrors, sort of, like, who's playing the aggressive role and who's playing the defensive role mostly has to do with openings, right? Like, if you open really strong, you try to, like, capitalize on it and sort of trade cards and, you know, and so your opponent doesn't have much left. And then, if your opening is worse, you kind of do the opposite. You're kind of like, okay, I'm fine to just sit here because I know that my deck has more good cards left in it. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'm just gonna take this monster. Okay, it's the Faith. Good. That was what we wanted it to be. Oh man, I tell you, if we just draw Tsukiyomi, we're gonna be in pretty good shape. Even if he torrentials, I don't really care that much. Checking his grave. Yeah, I do have a meowing cat. Yeah, we still have one merchant left. Oh, he plays merchant too? Oh, banished 2 merchants. We only had to banish 1. So now we are +3 on deck count, 17 to 14. I thought I was going to banish 1 and he was going to banish 0. How is he playing like 2 mimics and 2 merchants? And Dedia Like, what did he cut for all these cards? Is he just playing like goat control with like 18 monsters? Yeah, I guess he could be. Yeah, he just really wanted enough level 1 targets, I guess. What a weird game. What a weird game. Yeah, I'm just like not drawing like any of the cards I want. I mean, we might just deck him out, but yeah, I mean, yeah, we might just deck him out. It's possible. I would prefer to win by battle damage, just because like I don't know. You know, our opponent could. I mean, I guess like it's pretty hard for him to deal 6,300, especially when a ring would probably kill himself too. Okay, alright. 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 I drew a card that I wanted to draw. There's not really any styling in Angel Chaos. It's just not that kind of deck, you know? It's just not that kind of deck. Oh, whoops. Meant to go to main phase, but I'm sure he gets the idea. Okay, so how am I gonna do this? So we can book our guy, flip summon Faith, and probably just get back book again. Because, like, I already have a meta in my hand, so that's why I don't want to get back that. We still have 2 more copies of Book in our deck. You know what? I'll just get back meta anyways, I think. Because we might just be able to go on, like, triple Thousand Eyes lock. Honest, I think Edison format's overrated. Or wait. Yeah, okay, yeah, we do still have 1,000 eyes left. I was just making sure we didn't use all 3 of them already. Oh, and his heavy's gone too, right? Yeah, his heavy's gone, and now both of his faith are gone, so we can just set as many back rows as we want. But yeah, I was basically just like waiting forever to draw like one of my 3 books or one of my 2 Tsukiyomis. And then finally, like 25 cards into my deck, I got one. So yeah, I mean, basically the only way he can clear our board is with Torrential. Oh, he has a light in his grave, so now he can just play BLS, but BLS Banish Thousand Eyes is... like, we just don't even care. It's like, oh, nice card. Alright, he got our goats, which is our second one. But I don't think that's a big deal. Jeez, 1 cross out. Set 2 back rows. I mean, one of them could be torrential. Yeah, I'll just say go. I don't like. What's the worst thing that could happen here? Like he's just used like so many power cards. Like I don't even know what he can do at this point. Like Snatch is gone, right? Or no, Snatch isn't gone. Okay, Snatch isn't gone. So he could do something like Snatch our guy, Tribute for Air Knight. I still have MST left in my deck. But yeah, he'd have to do something like Snatch our guy, Tribute for Air Knight, BLS our other Thousand Eyes, attack for 19, and like that would be like the best play he could really do, I think. I mean, he could obviously summon Monster Torrential, but like that's fine. Even if he went summon Sangan Torrential, like I don't even think his Sangan has targets left. Like he's literally used like that many cards at this point. So yeah, like the only 2 power cards that we care about are BLS and Snatch, and like that's basically it. Yeah, I think we can Pot of Greed here, because even after Pot of Greed, he still decks out first. Yeah, I'll just duo him. I mean, 5 cards is a pretty decent chance we hit one. And yeah, if we hit Snatch or BLS, it is like huge. Okay, so yeah, Sangan's dead, so he discarded that. I mean, hitting meta is fine, I guess. I don't know, it's not that great. Just because, like, I don't even think he has, like, level 1s left. He basically has, like, second copy of Scapegoat as his only level 1. But if I didn't duo, I was gonna have to discard in my end phase anyways, so might as well duo. Hopefully, like, the 1,000 life doesn't end up being relevant somehow, where, like, paying 1,000 allows him to kill me. That would suck. I mean, I guess you could do something like Summon Monster, Torrential the board, BLS attack, and then Ring for game. That's like about the only thing you could do, really. Yeah, I'll still go. Well, I mean, I will say, you know, if I was to buy a high rarity goat deck, Angel Chaos would be a pretty sexy one. You know, it's funny, I did actually, I don't know, a few months back, I sold my foil books and foil metas. So who knows, maybe you bought my Angel Chaos cards. Oh, I think I don't know, maybe I played 1 or 2 matches of 2002. I don't think it's very good format, though. That's like Yugi versus Kaiba with, what, like, I don't know, like a couple of sets? I don't know, this is a little too boring for me. Like, there's gotta be, like, some options in the format, not just, like, I play Lodgin because it has 1800. You know, like, I don't know. That's not particularly interesting. Go for its right balance, I think. Like, Edison, I think, is a little too powerful. 2002 is kind of, like, not powerful enough. Like, Go format has there's just so much depth, like, so much variety. That, like, you can't really, like, replicate in many other formats. Okay, he's finally playing the BLS. Good, this is what we want. Yeah, BLS into no follow-up isn't gonna be good enough, I think. Lambros, like, most of these Chaos decks, like, aren't even that good. Like, people are complaining about a deck that's, like, 30% of the meta and, like, not even that good. I mean, in tournament, it's not 8 out of 10 decks. Like, GoFormat.com posts their stats. It's nowhere near 8 out of 10. And even though, like, a lot of people play Chaos, there's still a lot of differences. Alright, we're gonna see what this is. I have a feeling this is important. I don't think he would have said it if it wasn't important. I mean, Lambros, I'm playing ladder. Believe me, it's not 8 out of 10 decks. I don't know. I think people complaining about Chaos, like, you need to come up with a better thing to complain about. Like, seriously, you need to come up with a better thing to complain about. He's trying to tell me he can't book his BLS. How is this guy, like, ranked more than 700 and thinks that Thousand Eyes stops Bookamoon? Alright, I'm just gonna call a judge. Yeah, this is actually, for me, this is literally a world record for the fastest a judge has ever gotten to my match. Current or GOAT format. Like, this is a literal record. Now, for some reason, he won't give the ruling. But he did get there very quickly. For some reason, my opponent thinks that, like, Thousand Eyes can be flipped face down. But he thinks that other monsters can't. I was gonna, like, look up the ruling in case the judge didn't know, but... My WPM is definitely higher than 50. I mean, it's probably more than 50, less than 70. Alright, so I've already normal summoned. We've taken his BLS. I mean, he still has Premature Burial left, so he could, like, kill our Thousand Eyes and then Premature it, and then win that way somehow. But, like, that's about it. I probably should have attacked in in battle phase. I should have flipped the Thousand Eyes, had the Breakers crash, and then main phase 2 take his guy. I think that was just a mistake on my part. But it's fine. Like I said, that judge set a world record for how quickly he got to the match. Someone needs to, like, give him an award. Maybe he specifically likes judging GOAT format. We need more him. We need more Judge 5850s on Dueling Book. Alright, that's fine. I mean, we could book our guy, but it's fine. Oh yeah, this is in the grave. And then now to see Premature Burial try to attack for game. Is that the plan? I might just let this go through. Like, drawing a card barely even matters. Right? Like, drawing a card, like, basically doesn't even matter. Yeah, we're just gonna let this go through. Okay, so we just need to, like, not get fucked by this Air Knight, and we should be fine. Yeah, I mean, he has 4 cards left, so he's gonna be drawing one. Yeah, I mean, we just basically have to, like, not die soon. That's the idea. And, like, almost every card in our deck is something good, right? Because, like, we have 2 Chaos Monsters left in our deck. We want to draw those. We still have some more back rows left in our deck. We want to draw those. So, yeah, I mean, he has, like, 1 book left. So let's see. He has at least 1 goats left. Yeah, I mean, I think the play here is to just shotgun our Chaos Sorcerer. So we just let it go through. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my view, guys, is, like, find something else to complain about. Like, a lot of these Chaos decks aren't that great, and a lot of the players playing them aren't that great. You know, I hate to say it. I mean, if his back rows are just actual bricks, this is just game. Yeah. So basically, like, the only way he can win is, I don't know, yeah. He can premature BLS and, like, try to attack 2 things. And, like, that's it. Yeah. There's, like, no point. We don't need to attack him at this point. It doesn't accomplish anything. Yeah, I agree, Step Kick. Like, if you're gonna play Chaos, play Chaos. Don't, like... Yeah, don't play a deck with, like, 3 Thunder Dragons, 2 Chaos Monsters. Alright, so he does have the pre for the BLS. Obviously, he's gonna attack the Senshi. Then he's gonna... Oh, no, we still have books, so we don't have to worry about him ringing for a draw. So if he tries to ring for the draw, we just have book. Well, if he's stream sniping now, he can dust our book and try to get us. Okay. What do we do here? What do we do here? I also realized I didn't side anything for Go Control. I should have sided out my Creature Swap. Creature Swap's not very good against Go Control. Because I've had it like all game and it's just been dead. So we're probably going to win this game and then I'm going to side out Swap. Guys, I can't tell you about it if I played in any tournaments. Can't talk about that. So let's see. We can Warrior Lady attack BLS. If he lets it resolve, we go to 900. Now we've got books for Ring. Okay, that's fine. He said set. What does that even mean? Okay. So he's gonna ring my faith. That's pretty strange. I mean, I think I'll just still book my guy. And then, yeah, then we get back Heavy Storm. And then he can chain book on his BLS, but we can still beat that. Yeah. Because then we just meta our faith. Go into Thousand Eyes. Set a back row to protect our Thousand Eyes. And then, yeah, with 3 cards left, I don't know what he's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything he can do. Unless his last 2 cards are like double Secret Barrel. Oh, I guess he could Giant Trunade and try to win that way. So we should Suku our Thousand Eyes to make sure that he can't Giant Trunade, right? That's the play here, I think. Yeah, well, we'll set another monster just to make our defense even more impenetrable. Playing around Giant Trunade, you know, just in case. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of a long game. And it's weird, like, the sound is buggy. Like, sometimes the sounds just, like, don't play. Sometimes it, like, plays the wrong sound. I don't know. It's Dueling Book and a Dueling Book. So yeah, I want to side out Creature Swap. Actually, just going Swap for Dust Tornado is... Yeah, the sound lagged. Did you guys hear that? Like, the sound lagged by, like, at least, like, 10 seconds. But yeah, I sided out Creature Swap and sided in Dust Tornado. Because, like, Creature Swap is just not that great against Goat Control. I mean, Dust Tornado isn't insane, but especially since he plays pre and call, it's actually pretty strong. Like, if it was one of the Goat Control builds that, like, didn't play pre and call, Dust wouldn't be as good. But, like, we definitely don't, you know, we don't want, like, Air Knight to get called or whatever. You know, we don't want any of that. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting game. It is weird. It's also kind of boring, because I felt like I kind of knew how the game was I kind of knew how the game was going to go. It just took a while for it to play out. So you got Dust Shoot? Okay, that's fine. Alright, so you pot into Dust Shoot. I almost just want a Graceful just so he, like, doesn't know our whole hands. Yeah, we probably have to Graceful here. I mean, I'll probably just get rid of, like, Torrential, just because, like, he knows that we have it. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's get rid of, like, Torrential and meta. I mean, I did redraw the, you know, the Faith. So he kind of knows that since we're only banishing one. But it's like, you know, it's just how it goes sometimes. If the Faith goes through, like if he doesn't have his own crossout, we'll be in a pretty good spot. And I don't know how many Dust Shoots he sided in, but like they're just all gonna be dead now. Probably will be dead at least. Kind of interesting game. So like he had the pot, we had the Graceful. Man, I'm gonna flip Faith. I might just want a cross out. I don't really want to get medics if he like, I don't know, has like book or ring, that kind of sucks. So it's between meta and cross out. Yeah, I'm just gonna get cross out. I know it's like not really the standard play. I think like 90% of people would just get Graceful there. But, I mean, the card in my hand is good. Like, the card in my hand's Snatch Steal, so I don't really want to discard that to Graceful anyways. And I just want to get rid of the threat, you know? Plus, you know, if we get rid of all these lights and darks, you know, it does make it harder for him to play as BLS, you know? And it's like I had book anyway, so it's like... You know, so now we just flip up our guy. Get back Graceful. Yeah, and you know, we're off to a good start, I think. I mean, yeah, we are behind on cards. But in spite of that, I think we're off to a pretty reasonable start. Oh man, our hand is getting good. Yeah, stealing DD monsters can in fact be pretty good. All right, let's see. Okay, it doesn't do anything in response to that. Maybe I'll just say go. I'll just say go. Yeah. I hope his hand is like call and premature. Yeah, I'll book there. There's not really a reason not to. I mean, he can attack and then discard another card and kill our guy. But, I mean, he'll take 400 and have to discard another card. I don't know. Having Tribe Sinister is pretty nice, though. Unfortunately, I discarded the Kaiku. Oh, and he's just not attacking. He's not gonna like this, then. He's not gonna like this. And that's because we've had Heavy Storm set this whole time! What are you gonna do about that, buddy? I mean, yeah, he's got goats. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, man. You can goats. You can goats. I mean, I could snatch his tribe and kill all the goats, but, like, I don't think I want to get quite that aggressive. Especially, like, he has Sinister, so he's gonna have, like, a level 1 for meta anyways. So it's not like we can potentially make his meta dead. Yeah, this is an evenish game. I mean, it depends on how good his 3 cards are, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's pretty good card. Yeah, I'm just gonna Saku. I mean, I might, like, top deck Tsukiyomi next turn and wish that I hadn't. Oh, I literally did just top deck Tsukiyomi. I'm not even trolling you guys. If he's sniping me, our opponent can, know that we did draw Tsukiyomi. This is hard, because I mean, I had no way to deal with the Thousand Eyes other than Snatch Steal. And, like, I don't want to Snatch Steal the Thousand Eyes, then let him, like, gain 1,000 for several turns, you know? There's just, like, especially when he has Sinister in his hand, because then he can set Sinister and block the hits, so it's, like, unless I was just magic and knew I was going to draw Tsukiyomi, I think that it was just correct to Saku. See, I'm not even joking, guys. It's Tsukiyomi. Alright, so we got rid of all the goats. That's, I don't know, good for us, I guess. I mean, this is, like I said, this is like a pretty even game. It's a pretty even game. Yeah, Graceful's not too good for us. Yeah, I agree. I think our opponent should have attacked with Tribe too. Discarded Sinister and Air Knight. Those are pretty good discards. Is he gonna BLS us? I'd be fine with that. I mean, he knows two of our cards. He knows we have Snatch Steal, and he knows we have Tsukiyomi. We haven't seen Morphing Jar yet. Two Faith, two Mimics are gone. So it's probably just like a Merchant or a Sanguine. Or, I mean, it could be a Morphing Jar that we haven't seen yet. That's of course always the other possibility. Probably not. I mean, we didn't literally see his entire deck game too, and we never saw Morphing, so... Okay, so we know he has Dust Tornado. If he had, like, Breaker, that'd be pretty good for him. Ah, but then he just immediately plays it. God damn it. Oh, and he has the crossout. That's brutal. Oh, man, that's so brutal. He has Breaker and crossout. Oh, man, that's so good for him. Because now we're down, like, 2 cards. Man, he knows we have Snatch. Does he just have... Oh, no, because he has Dust. Yeah, he added the Dust. Oh, man. This is such a good turn for him. Because, like, I have Meta in my hand, and I wanted to... Oh, man. I mean, I was considering just not setting the monster. But I'm like, what are the odds that he's going to have, like, exactly Breaker Crossout? And then he just has it. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna... Man, my heavy's gone. I mean, there's no reason to snatch, because it just immediately gets Dust Tornado. Well, no, if I snatch, then he can't Dust Shoot me next turn. Yeah, so we just snatch. Yeah, and then he dusts. And then we say go. But yeah, Breaker Crossout was brutal, because, you know, I have the meta. Obviously, I wanted to just be able to meta this turn instead of the next turn. I mean, I have meta, so I kind of need to goats, you know. Jesus Christ, he has duo too? Oh, man. Oh my god. Man, and our Pot and Graceful are gone, and 2 metas are gone, and we have no lights in our grave. Yeah, I literally don't even know what we can draw at this point. And our Heavy's gone. Like, literally every out to Air Knight other than 3rd meta is gone. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could've set meta and then not gotten a duoed. But at the same time, it's like, I didn't, like, obviously we knew he had 1 dust. I didn't want to get my meta, like, end phase dusted. And I kind of knew that, like, he didn't have duo already, because if he did, he would have played it. So it's like, he had 2 draws to hit duo, and then obviously hit it. So yeah, at this point, we need to draw, like, exactly meta and hope he doesn't have book set, which he probably does. Or we could top deck Breaker and just try to crash into Air Knight. I think that's basically it, though. Yeah, now we have this dead BLS because we have no light. So, yeah, games 1 and 3 are pretty rough. I mean, versus, like, the modern day builds of GOAT control, I think Angel is, like, pretty, does reasonably well. But against the builds of GOAT control that are, like, still playing, like, double Air Knight, double Tsukiyomi, yeah, it's kind of tough. And of course, the guy, like, didn't even know what Thousand Eyes restricted, but, we just still lost to him anyway. Ah, sucks to be me. This is reasonable hands. Reasonable hands. Wow, Dueling Book is glitching hardcore. Hold on, I need to join my match. Right now, I mean, you guys can't see because it's on my other screen, but Dueling Book literally isn't showing me the guy's hand. Hold on, let me show you guys just so you can see, just real quick. Look at his hands. Like, there's just, like, a bunch of nonsense there, like some blank cards. Oh, this is his whole board. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Alright, well, let me try to refresh the page. Oh, is those really his sleeves? No, you can't have transparent sleeves, can you? Are you serious? Yeah, they have to be, right? Hold on, I can actually figure it out. By editing the HTML. Oh no, it actually is glitching. No, I use the HTML editor, and his actual sleeves are Thunder King Ryo. So yeah, let me try refreshing. See if that fixes it. Hold on. Because I'm not about to play the whole match with freaking transparent sleeves. Are you kidding me? Oh, and I guess I have to refresh this one, too. Yeah, now it just won't let me reconnect. This is why I'm building my own simulator, because of this bullshit. Like, it shows me transparent sleeves, it won't let me reconnect, and like, now I'm just gonna lose. Fucking dueling book. I'm sick and tired of your shit. Oh, error 522, connection time. Guys, we need to do something about this. We need to like start a riot or something. Get XDeven to, you know, fix this nonsense. I assume it's not me. I mean, it could be me, I guess, but yeah, my sim's not gonna have transparent sleeves. Sorry about that one. I know that's very disappointing. I don't know. I assumed at this point we've timed out, but now it just won't let me come back. I was gonna play one more match, then I was gonna play the deck sent in. I'm pretty sure sent in by Indoors, actually. Oh my god. Yeah, it's not me, it's Dueling Book. Oh, handshake failed. You know what? Guys, what do I do? Dueling Book just told me to piss off. Now I can't even show my viewer sent in decks. Chat, you guys don't even seem like you're mad. Okay, I tell you guys, when it's my simulator, this shit will not fly. If I need like a, you know, 1,000 servers, you know, with 1,000 cores each or whatever, to get it to not lag, I'll do it, you know? There's just no excuse. No excuse. Yeah, and obviously it just gave me the loss. You know what? Sick and tired of your shit. And now it won't let me log in on my alt account, you know, the one that I was using to watch. Wonder like how laggy Deck Constructor is. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Deck Constructor is working reasonably well. I don't know. I wonder if like somehow having 2 Dueling Book windows open is somehow like making it slower. I mean, probably not. Just based on the way that I know that computers work, it shouldn't matter. I mean, Zazzles, there only is HTML5 now. I don't know if you were aware, but Like, you can't play Flash anymore. Like, Flash is literally dead. So, I mean, I'm not using the HTML5 URL, but it is HTML5. It is not Flash. You can verify that by checking the source code. You can do, you know, view page source or inspect, and you will, if you do that, you will see that there is no Flash there. Okay. So I'm signed into both my accounts. I'm going to play one more match of Goat Control. One more match of Goat Control. Then we're going to do the viewer sent in decks. Oh, this guy has a rating of less than 100, so his deck might be garbage. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully he's just new. Blade Knight turn 1 would kind of suck. Sometimes you just gotta play the odds. Okay, that's fine. I guess this guy doesn't play Faith. Or he drew all of them. Okay, that's fine. And I guess you guys can't see the hand. I mean, I think it should show the hand to the watchers, but my hand is Cross Out Sorcerer, Book of Moon. Oh, I mean, he's gonna type it. But yeah, that's a random way that I think Dueling Book could be improved, and obviously something that I'll improve on is that if the hand's revealed, it should be revealed to the watchers too. I would be pretty mad if he discards my Snatch. Well, of course he discarded my Snatch. Like, it's unreal. They have, like, the Solemn for the goats, and they hit, like, the only good card in my hand. I mean, it's fine. I mean, we'll just set our entire hand, I guess, and then probably get heavied. No, I mean, it was absolutely correct for him to Solemn there. It just sucks that he hit my Snatch. Because, I mean, he knew I had meta in hand, right? I mean, like, you have to... I mean, 90% of the time you should be Solemning goats there. So it's not that, like, oh, he's an idiot because he Solemned. It's like, well, it sucks for me that he had the Solemn and he hit my Snatch. Alright, so what spell do we not want? I mean, we don't want another crossout. Oh, I have Sinister from forever ago. I'm actually retarded. I just need to stop forgetting my Sinister like an idiot. I mean, last turn what I should have done is I should have went Sinister meta target Reaper. And then we just never get in this spot to begin with. But now that I have un-idiotified myself, I will try to win this game. I mean, if this goes through, he's only one hit away from being dead, so I got that going for me. Okay, he's gonna Raigeki Break on the attack rather than on the summon. I mean, that's also good for me. I guess I'll just hope it doesn't, like, top deck Book of Life. I don't know. If he top decks Book of Life, it's not like we're screwed. Well, he top deck Book of Life. Oh, I hope he doesn't top deck a second Book of Life. I mean, we are technically ahead on cards in life, but I don't feel like we're very ahead, you know what I mean? We also have a Light and a Dark. Oh man, that's brutal. I hope he doesn't have, like, Pyramid Turtle or Giant Rat as his last card. That would suck. Jesus Christ, another Spirit Reaper, are you kidding me? Yeah, I know what your Spirit Reaper does. I don't even know if I want to banish. Because if I banish and, like, he top decks a Recruiter, then it's kind of sucks to be us. So yeah, I'm just not going to banish, which is pretty unusual. I mean, I have a lot of good draws left in my deck. Like, Goats would be a good draw. Any Chaos Monster would be a good draw. The card that I just drew would be a good draw. Yeah. Yeah, 2 crossouts are gone. Snatch would suck. Yeah, I just don't want to get snatched, and that's about it. Oh, good. He just passed. Thank God. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I just kind of have to hope he doesn't have heavy. Obviously, yeah, obviously he knows the card that I just set was good. Oh my God. I'd say we're not supposed to lose against this deck. This is supposed to be like one of our good matchups. Luckily we have 3 darks, 2 lights in our grave, so like he doesn't just like turn off our Chaos Sorcerer, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's like we're just getting, like, just Reapered, like, over and over again. Oh, this is a really good draw, actually. I don't know, I guess it's not, like, the sickest draw in the world. But, like, Kaiku's pretty good. Just because it... You know, banishing the V-Lord is obviously pretty strong. For some reason, he thinks that his Reaper's dead, and that's... Yeah. Our opponent, I think, is probably not the most experienced player. Yeah, what do you think I'm gonna do? Cheat this guy on stream? I mean, even if it wasn't stream, I'd tell him. Like, you know how many times on stream I've reminded people to gain for Snatch Steal? Like a literal million times. Or at least it feels like it. Yeah, all we need is, like... I mean, a ring would probably just kill him. Any Chaos Monster would be phenomenal. Well, most of these people usually play Mirror Force. So we can... he might play second V-Lord, though. He might play second V-Lord. Like, if this is a good player, I would assume that he doesn't run second V-Lord. See, I think this plays around everything. Because if it's a Pyramid Turtle, yeah, if it's a Pyramid Turtle, it doesn't die. And then if it's a Mirror Force, our Kaiku still lives. No, I mean, the standard list of zombies now plays, like, more Ryukokis than Vampire Lords. You usually just play, like, one Vampire Lord to search it out. Yeah, because, like, Vampire Lord is actually, like, really bad in the current meta. Because, honestly, like, Chaos can just banish it. Warriors can just summon a 2000 Blade Knight and just kill it. Man, my draws are so bad. I tell you, like, I just need any Chaos Monster or a ring. Like, either one of those would be so good. Yeah, there's a lot of things be good. Like, Snatch be good. I don't know, Snatch's already gone. Yeah, I mainly just need Chaos Monster Ring. And I don't really care about the Sinister. It says, think before leaving main phase 2. I guess you could Raigeki break something, but you can do that in the end phase. Okay, that's fine. God, I hope he just runs both his monsters into my set Mirror Force. Man, and he has Heavy Storm. Oh, this is brutal. I mean, we'll probably just get games 2 and 3, but it's just hard because I just haven't been able to really do anything, you know? Maybe we can still top deck a Chaos Monster and kill him. I mean, we can just top deck any monster with at least 1600 attack and kill him. This is a weird game. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it goes, I guess. But, like, all my cards just do absolutely nothing. Yeah, I'm just drawing, like, every single brick in my deck. At this point, I think I'm literally out of bricks. Like, I almost think, like, every card left in our deck is action. I guess, like, the only brick left in our deck would be a second Tsukiyomi. So yeah, those two are the bricks, Heavy and Duo. Those don't do anything. Yeah, I just still need a Chaos Monster. Oh my god. Yeah, but we only need to deal 300 to him. I don't know. I mean, I actually don't think we're favored to win, but you know, I think we can pull it out. You know, we could pull it out. I mean, if we just both keep setting monsters and saying go, I mean, you know, eventually I would be able to win. Oh, his set was ring. Alright, so we had Sinister. Alright, well, we're gonna try end phase ring for game. Okay, somehow I won. I have no idea how I won this game. Like, our opponent just sat there and did nothing for, like, 10 turns in a row. After just, like, top-decking full Trinity. Like, I don't even understand what he had. Like, what were these monsters that he was setting? I don't know. The whole thing just makes no sense to me. It honestly just makes no sense to me. Like, how do you do nothing for that many turns in a row? I don't know. Weird game. Weird game. And yeah, he never played swap either, come to think of it. He got like 28 cards in his deck and never played a creature swap. Oh, this hand's not very good. I don't know, it's not terrible. If he has Dust Shoot, that's probably fine. Yeah, it's fine. I don't really care. I'll actually banish my hand, that way you guys can see it. Here, I'll pull it up on screen. That's my hand, guys. For some reason, Dueling Wit doesn't want to show Smashing Grounds art, but this is my hand. Hey, Justin, nice to see you here. Yeah, Tsukiyomi makes sense. Just because, like, it makes our second crossout live. Okay, getting rid of Reaper's pretty good. I mean, we might just have another one. I mean, we did see 2 Reapers game 1. Maybe this is a pretty good spot, because if he sets a monster, we cross it out. If he summons a monster, we get to smashing. Yeah, I drew Warrior Lady. I think I'm just gonna use it instead of smashing. If he lets me. He might not let me. But I'd rather have his turtle banished than in the grave if I had to choose. Yeah, I'm definitely happy for him to just burn a Raigeki break. It's especially nice because, like, normally Warrior Lady doesn't end up in the grave, but since it is in the grave, now we have one of our lights for Chaos Sorcerer. Just thinking, yeah, I'll probably just set one to play around another Dust Shoot. I actually think we just set 2. Play around Dust Shoot and Duo. Seems like the thing to do here. Alright, so we will take 12. Yeah, I think I just want to go into Thousand Eyes here. If he Solemn's the meta, that's pretty good play for him. But if he doesn't Solemn... Yeah. Because I wanted the Dark in my grave, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had the Ring for Thousand Eyes or something, then it's like we could have just played Chaos Sorcerer. Alright, we take another 12. Oh, this is a good card. We redrew our Tsukiyomi. Our opponent has no zombies in the grave, which is what we like to hear. I mean, at some point we can set our Tsukiyomi, let it get run over. Well, I was gonna say, and then we'd have a Dark for Sorcerer, but our opponent top deck Duo. I mean, I guess now we only need to deal 1,500 more. Yeah, we have 2 lights, 2 darks in our grave. Yeah, this is an okay draw. I don't know, it's probably about an even game. Like, we're down on cards, but our opponent's setup is pretty weak. Well, he top Breaker, that's pretty good. That was, like, probably one of the best cards he could draw. I mean, I'm gonna try to attack over this Breaker. Okay, that's fine. Well, he just needs a 1,200 attack monster, and we're dead if he has one. Okay, he doesn't have one. Chaos Sorcerer is not enough to attack for game. Chaos Sorcerer is 50 damage short. We can top deck Ring and try to go for a draw. So, I mean, we have 2 metas left in our deck. Those would be good top decks. We have 2 Chaos Monsters in our deck. Those would be good top decks. Oh, that is not what I was hoping for. Obviously, Ring to draw would be a good top deck. Oh, Upstart. Thank you. I tell you guys, don't play Upstart in your aggro decks. I mean, don't play Upstart in a lot of decks. Like, people don't realize that giving your opponent 1,000 can actually make the difference between winning and losing. I've seen it countless times. Where it's like, oh, if my opponent hadn't upstarted me, I would have been dead like 3 turns ago. If my opponent had slightly fewer life points, I could try to attack over this Pyramid Turtle for game. Right, but 400 isn't game, so instead I'm gonna have to take the... No, I'm gonna take the Pyramid Turtle. If you had creature swap, that would be kind of interesting. Let's see, we can attack, we take 16, or no, we take 4, go to 18, we take the face down monster. I mean, I guess you can Book of Life now, but I don't really think that matters a lot. Oh man, it's Sangan. That sucks. I mean, we have like a lot of top decks that could just let us kill our opponent. Man, taking Sangan was so awkward. I mean, I think we just want to try to stall until we draw a Ring. It's probably the plan. And that's a second crossout, right? Yeah, that's the second one. Yeah, we have a lot of good draws. I mean, Tsukio may be a good draw. Yeah, Chaos Monster definitely be a good draw. As long as he doesn't have Torrential, I'm happy. Unfortunately, we've already used our Heavy Storm. I mean, I could banish my guy here, but I'm not sure if I want to yet. Yeah, I don't think I'm, like, ahead enough for me to want to banish my guy. I mean, maybe next turn. We'll see what he does this turn. So yeah, I drew a good card. We're gonna see what he does here. I think he doesn't know that he gets his Sengen's effect. Okay, that's fine. Okay. I guess he could have third Solemn. That'd be pretty good. Alright, Dakochi, attempt to attack for game. I mean, if we don't attack Turtle, he can just attack our guy anyways. Does being at 550 versus 750 matter? I don't think so. If we attack Turtle, it also thins his deck. You know, it makes him like more likely to top deck Pot of Greed or something. So yeah, we'll just say go. So yeah, you could have like Turtle crash into Dakochi, get Ryukoki. Ryukoki can kill BLS. Oh, that's... Man, that sucks. Does he have the monster too? Okay, he doesn't have the monster. Oh, wow, I kind of got a lucky draw. I had Snatch in hand already, and then I just top deck Breaker. Yeah, and that's game. That was a surprisingly close 2-0. Like, Zombies is supposed to be, like, one of the easiest matchups for Angel Chaos, and yet it was very close 2 games. Doesn't make me feel too great. Okay, so now, the moment we've all been waiting for, or maybe not, I don't know. Who knows what you guys have been waiting for? Yeah, so we're gonna play the viewer submitted deck. So, just to remind you guys, if you sub to me on Twitch or join as a YouTube member, I will basically be like your slave for an hour. Don't read into that too much. In other words, I will play a deck of your choice, or I will, you know, review a deck that you have, sort of tell you what to change, or I will review one of your duels in detail, go over each play, tell you what you did right, tell you what you did wrong. So yeah, so this deck was submitted by Indoors. Yeah. So it's like a Stein Reasoning Gate deck. I have seen like a few of these decks on ladder lately. I think, I don't know, maybe they're kind of like picking up in popularity slightly. So I'm going to play the deck for a match first. And then after that, I'll talk about what I would change. So... I don't have a Snapchat. I'm a boomer, so I don't have a Snapchat. So yeah, I mean, obviously I don't think this deck's perfect, but, you know, see how it goes. I will say Reasoning Gate is like one of those decks where you can kind of build it badly and still win a lot of games, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of like Chaos. Chaos is another example of that. Like, you can build Chaos badly and, like, still win half your matches. Just because it's so good. And Reason Gate's kind of the same. So one thing, with Reason Gate in general, it's almost never correct to graceful turn 1 in game 1, because we don't want our opponent to know that, like... We don't want our opponent to know that we're on combo. That's basic idea. Oh, that's pretty good. He had Dust Shoot. Okay, fair enough. If he didn't have Dust Shoot, I probably would have just killed him on my first battle phase. So yeah, now that he Dust Shooted, this hand's like kind of bad. I don't know, maybe not. If we draw like a Chaos Monster and a Dark off this Graceful, then our hand's pretty good. Yeah, it's just like Reasoning Gate with like Tech 2 Steins. I don't know. I mean, there's things I changed about this deck. We'll talk about it after. I'm just thinking if I want to Trunade before Graceful. We probably do, just in case he set Solemn turn 1. Like, I think with this hand, we're probably just trying to go off, like, early rather than late. Jesus Christ, he really has another Dust Shoot? Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, like, double Dust Shoot's kind of hard to beat. Alright, so if he just calls this Reasoning wrong, we just probably win. Or maybe not, who knows. Also, maybe I shouldn't have discarded the Crane. Maybe I should have kept the Crane and then rammed the Crane into the Warrior Lady and then, like, Defusion to draw a card or something. Okay, he called 8. Which, probably not the level you should be calling. I don't know, I should probably be calling, like, 2. Well, of course, like, the 1-8 is the mill. I mean, any Chaos Monster, though, and, like, we're still looking pretty good. We're probably just dead, but I want to see, like, what other monster he has. Oh, wow, he's actually got a player on Mirror Force. Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna heavy just to get info, and then I'm gonna concede. Yeah, I mean... I will say, I mean, one of the things that I'll say about this deck is Nobleman shouldn't be sided. This would be, like, the deck that, like, you would think you should side it in against, but, like, the other cards in our deck are better. I mean, we definitely want Mirror and Torrential. And that's probably it. Maybe Visor Shock, too. Maybe we want Visor Shock. Yeah, we probably want Visor Shock. And we want Mirror and Torrential, I think. Yeah, if he didn't dust shoot me, I was like gonna destroy him. And like having the second dust shoot to chain to Trunade was like particularly brutal. Well, let's see how this goes. Okay, so now we do want a graceful turn 1, because our opponent already knows what we're playing, and we have 2 shit cards in our hands. Yeah, I will say I don't like Mystical Knighted Jackal. Mystical Knighted Jackal is like barely better than a vanilla. It's basically just like a level 7 light vanilla. Yeah, you're right. I could have played her on the second Dust Shoot by setting a bunch of cards and then activating Trunade. But then that loses to Dust Tornado. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying don't play level 7. I'm just saying that you picked, like, one of the worst 7s to play. Even, like, Guardian Angel Joan is a pretty good 7, because it gains you life points, which is obviously pretty relevant in a Cyberstein deck. I don't know, maybe I could have done something this turn. But I don't know, I play Reasoning Gate very passively. Like, I just kind of sit here and try to not die and then kill the opponent. That's kind of the idea. I mean, I guess I'll Torrential. Yeah, that's pretty situational. It's just weird, because it's like, if I was playing a normal Reasoning Gate deck, I'd just pass here, but the problem is, if I take more than 1200, then Stein's dead for the rest of the game. So I feel like I have to do something just to, just to, like, not take damage, which is kind of awkward. Yeah, I kind of wish this was something else, but a 2700 mil will do. The other awkward thing is, like, if I Trunade here, like, and then pre... Oh, okay. I was gonna say the awkward thing is if I, like, Trunade, then pre, and then activate pre, then I still can't Stein. Yeah, like, people in Rated just, like, don't really side, ever. Oh my god, Andy just top decks Duo, are you kidding me? I just don't want him to hit Snatch. Anything other than... I tell you, it's like second time this happened on stream, where it's like... The only thing that I cared about was him hitting Snatch, and then he just immediately hit Snatch. Oh my god, this is... Like, if we just had a Snatch here, we would just be in such a great position. We'd just Snatch the Blade Knight, attack him for a bunch of damage, and win. But because our opponent hit the Snatch with the Duo, we're just gonna die now. Like... Oh my god, this is such nonsense. Yeah, okay, good games. Alright, we'll play one more, because that wasn't really that real. I tell you, even when I don't show my hand, they somehow hit the best card. Yeah, I will say, with Reasoning Gate, like, you pretty much always just, like, draw and pass. Unless you're gonna, like, set Goats turn 1, basically all of your hands will just be draw pass. Which is fine. You know, there's not too much that can happen. Oh, okay, it's a mirror. I mean, if he doesn't kill us, I think we're probably fine. No Demok. No Demok. No Demok. Anything other than Dark Prediction of Chaos. Another Crane is fine. A Jinzo is fine. Okay, Jinzo is fine. Attack us for 24 and say go. Come on, you know you want to. Oh yeah, you're right, you are on the other side. I wonder if it changes if I try again. Hold on, let me try again, see if it changes. Oh well. I mean, you guys know what's going on. My hand is pretty good there. Oh, Upstart, yay. We want life points in our Cyberstein deck. We want those. We want those life points. I mean, it's fine. I think, like, having Stein definitely gives you an edge in the mirror, and most people just, like, don't know how to play the mirror. Like, our opponent's turn 1 was awful. Like, I guarantee he made a mistake somewhere in his turn. Yeah, we're just, like, gonna destroy this guy. We might have goats here, but we might just even be able to kill him through goats. Oh, okay, it's a dimension fusion. Alright, so... we banish these guys. Special summon this guy. Activate dimension fusion. Oh, he just conceded. Man, this guy's no fun. I like playing out those combos and whatnot. Sweet, that's like the fun part. Well, I will say I think one mistake they have here is you have, like, nothing sided for the mirror. I didn't have Stein, but I was gonna draw a card off Sacred Crane and I had card destruction in hand. And I had Megamorph, so I could, like... Megamorph, I don't know, I could Megamorph whatever. And Megamorph's a little weird on BLS, because you, like, attack them, but then for the second attack it gets halved. I don't know. Honestly, it would depend on, like, what we draw off the Crane. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, because in the mirror, we really don't like spells or chefs, so we kind of want to side out, like, Heavy and True Nade. And bring in Mirror, Torrential, and Ring, I guess. Yeah, I'll just set out like 3 True Nades for Mirror, Torrential, Ring, I think. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, I mean, you definitely gotta have something for the mirror. I mean, you did tell me when you sent me the deck that the side needed work, and I kind of agree. The side does need work. I didn't have Demok in Grave. No, I definitely didn't have Demok in Grave. Zazzles, you're thinking of the last game where my opponent called level 8 on Reasoning. Yeah, Duo is a pretty good card in the mirror. Man, he hit like the best card again. Probably the best card. I don't know, like our whole hand's pretty bad. Ringer's just the best card because like the rest of our hand's just like kind of trash. Yeah. I don't know. I just think we're not very likely to get value out of this defusion. Yeah, this guy doesn't know how to play the matchup. Like, you're never supposed to just activate Reasoning turn 1 when you don't even have a battle phase. This guy, like, won't give me more than 3 seconds to call a level. I mean, I guess I'll just call 4. Well, the reason why that Duo is so good against Reason Negate is for this reason. You just go Duo, Demok, Duo them again, and win. If the rest of his hand is shit, we could still win, maybe. Well. Yeah, Graceful doesn't make things easier. Discarded Vortex. Seems like a card you don't want to discard. I like how he has to declare every single effect. Like that's real necessary. Yeah, I tell you, like 90% of these people are just so BM. Like, if you take more than like 3 seconds to decide on something, they like throw a fit. Interesting. Okay, he just wants the light in his grave for something, I guess. This is one of those situations where I wish we had, like, Mirror Torrential. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know, I mean, maybe if we top deck something super nutty, we can win somehow. Like, if we top deck, I don't know, like, Pot or Graceful into 2 really good cards, who knows, we might be able to win. The spell that lets you order the top 3 cards of your deck kind of sucks. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have enough life to Stein now. Oh, that was actually my B. Yeah, I meant to end with 1 goat, and I forgot that Sorcerer can't attack. Okay, well, we were just losing the Solemn anyway. Yeah, it's fine, I guess. I mean, it sucks we have, like, nothing to cipher the mirror that is that good. So he had Solemn post-board. I mean, I don't know if that was mained or sided, but we did see Solemn, and that's actually pretty relevant. Oh, this opening is... Opening leaves a little to be desired. Okay, that's good. We like hitting goats. If he calls his reasoning wrong, I think we'll be in an okay spot. Yeah, I mean, now he's just gonna lose because he didn't call 8. Yeah, if this is like Stein, he just loses. Mystic Knighted Jackal. The old 2700 vanilla, let's go. I mean, I think, yeah, he's still just dead anyways. He's still just dead anyways. I mean, it didn't matter. Like, any monster would be fine here. I don't think Reasoning Gate could ever play Karibo, but I want to make sure that I play around Karibo just in case. So let's try to think of what the optimal play is here. Yeah, so I think we want to get back Dimension Fusion. And then meta our guy. Oh, but I still had all these. I still had all these. We had so much damage. We had so much damage. Okay, so we played 2 matches. Yeah, that was gonna be a lot of damage. Cause then with the second DMOC trigger, we could probably get back, I don't know, either Pot of Great or Monster Gate. Yeah, you can definitely do a lot of damage. Okay. Alright, so let's talk about the deck now. Let's talk about the deck. So we already went over some of the stuff. Mystic Knighted Jackal. Don't play this card. I mean, I think if you want a light level 7, it's Joan something. I think it's Guardian Angel Joan, something like that. Yeah, so this thing's better. Oh yeah, you're right. I do need to change screen. Sorry. Thank you to the person in the chat who reminded me. Um. So yeah, for some reason, Dueling Book doesn't want to display Joan's image, but this card's just better than Mystic Knighted Jackal, right? It has more attack. It has more defense. It's a light level 7. And you can kill something and gain life points. And in a deck that plays like 2 Cyber Steins and 3 Dimension Fusions, that's pretty relevant. Yeah. Or, I mean, you could play Fusler too. Fusler's an option. So, first of all, one thing I want to say is you actually don't need like 4 lights here. Because in this list you have 4 lights. You have 2 Cranes, an Air Knight, and Mystic Knighted Jackal. You don't need this many lights. Like 3 lights is enough in a Reasoning Gate deck. So like Air Knight isn't that great because it doesn't help you OTK. Yeah, I mean, you don't like realize that like this is a deck where you're trying to like mill a lot of cards in your deck, right? Because that makes like your Chaos Sorcerer and your Dark Magician of Chaos better. So you don't want like 9 things to hit off Reasoning. You want like 6 or 7. So like Sangin's another card that like we just shouldn't be playing, right? I mean, like if we like say main deck this Visor Shock, you could make the case that okay, it searches Stein and Visor Shock. But, like, even then, I probably still wouldn't play it. Like, this card doesn't help you OTK. Like, the only way that Sagan's good is, like, if you Reasoning, and obviously they're not going to call level 3, and then you hit Sangan, and then you, like, Monster Gate your Sangan, hit something off your Monster Gate that's not a Stein, and then search Stein with Sangan, which is, like, incredibly situational. Obviously, like, the odds of that happening are pretty low. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that too, Heavy Rain, as far as, like, what light level 5s you could play instead of Air Knight. The best options are basically Luminous Knight and Zaborg. I would probably just not play level 5s at all. I don't know. So those are, like, some minor things. Like, obviously the spells are, like, pretty standard. Spells are pretty standard, I think. Not much to talk about there. Oh, wait, is there no Lightning Vortex in this deck? Am I blind, or is there no Lightning Vortex? Yeah, there's definitely no Lightning Vortex in this deck. So, Vortex is really good, right? I mean, it deals with goats, which is kind of a concern. You know, you usually don't care about the discard. So, yeah, Vortex needs to be here. But overall, to be honest, I would... Yeah, instead of Upstart, or instead of, like, one of these, like, back row clearing cards, right? Like, you don't need heavy 3 Trunades and MST. Because realize that, like, your Jinzo is already, like, kind of a pseudo Heavy Storm, right? Like, it shuts down all their traps. Because people don't play a lot of quick plays in this meta. So Jinzo is, like, almost as good as Heavy Storm. So you have, like, a Heavy Storm, 3 Trunades, and Jinzo. Like, you probably don't need MST, too. But overall, I was gonna say, I don't know, to me it's like, I would lean more into, like, I would either focus either more on the Reasoning Gate part of this deck, or the Stein part, and it kind of depends on, like, which one you want to do, because now you're sort of hoping that, like, you sort of draw, like, the right half of your deck. Like, these cards, like Megamorph, for example, aren't that great with, like, the Reasoning Gate part of the deck, and then it's like you have cards like Dimension Fusion that aren't good with, like, the Stein part of the deck. So, I don't know, it's like, one thing you could do is just play, like, sort of one Tech Stein in a Reasoning Gate deck, and then just not play, like, United We Stand or Megamorph. That's one option. But to me, it's like, if you're playing 2 Steins, I want to make this a Stein deck, not, like, a sort of standardish Reasoning Gate deck. And obviously, like, there's a lot of directions that you can take that. But yeah, it's like, I would do kind of one or the other. You know, you could even play this deck without any Chaos Monsters, without any Dimension Fusions. and like just play like Stein, Demok, Jinzo, whatever with like your reasoning monster gate, and then maybe play like more Megamorphs, maybe play like, I don't know, like either Token Thanksgiving main or side, and sort of lean like more into the Stein part of this deck. Because sort of like I was talking about on the stream last week, there are only two card combos in GOAT format that deal 8,000. Those two combos are Rescue Cat Last Will, which I tried last week and was pretty good, and Stein Megamorph. So I think there's definitely a lot of like unexplored potential with both of those combos. I'm just not sure if the answer is like, oh, just like throw two Steins into a Reasoning Gate deck, play one Megamorph, and call it a day, you know? Yeah, I mean, you could definitely take that approach, Stein with Gate and Last Will. Yeah, I think that's one way to go. So yeah, I don't know. I think in a way, like, yes, you changed some things with the standard Reasoning Gate list, but like the things that you changed, I think weren't like that relevant. Like, yes, Mystic Knight of Jackal is not like a standard choice, but I don't think it's a very good choice. I think you should try to change some, like, instead of like swapping out like one monster for another and say, okay, that's going to be my change, I think you should try to like sort of take this deck in a new direction. Because, you know, Reasoning Gate right now, kind of like we saw in the first match, is not positioned like super well necessarily, because like, you know, Dust Shoot is obviously like very good against the deck. Like Kaiku's very good against the deck. So if you just like took out all these Chaos monsters and took out the defusions, you know, Kaiku wouldn't be very good against you. And then Dust Shoot wouldn't be like as good against you either. So yeah, it's like, I mean, I think I have my sort of my Reasoning Gate list somewhere. I'll pull it up. So hold on, let me find this real quick. Yeah, no problem. Man, my internet's just being a little slow today. Maybe it's not Dueling Book. Maybe it's just me. Oh, no, this is Dueling Book, because I'm trying to go to my Dueling Book deck, and it's being really slow. Yeah, so I was going to show my standard Reasoning Gate list. So it's like, honestly, you have to play this exact list. But if you're sort of going to play, like, sort of a more normal Reasoning Gate deck list, I'd play something similar to mine if it ever loads. And then if you really want to play a Stein deck, then I would focus more on Stein. And, I mean, there are different, like, Stein cards you can play. So, if you want to play, like, more than just 3 Megamorphs, I know there's Wild Nature's Release. Yeah, none of the images want to show. So that's, like, you know, another sort of combo card with Master of Oz. And then you can also potentially play, like, Limiter Removal. Because, you know, you can go Stein into Gatling and then, you know, boost it up with Limiter. I mean, that's not enough for game. That's, how much is that? 7 plus 26, 33. So that's 66. But I mean, Jinzo's also a machine, so like Limiter works with that too. Like if you Reasoning into Jinzo, and then you have like double Limiter, it's like, oh, you're just dead. I don't even need the Stein. So yeah, I would focus more on the Stein part, because like Scapegoat's pretty good against Stein, but not a lot of people play that. And then for the decks that do play Scapegoat, you can side Token Thanksgiving. Again, images don't want to show up here for some reason. So yeah, I think that kind of covers it. And then that's a good question. What do you do against aggro that can get your LP under 5k so quickly? Just try not to go under 5k, I guess. I mean, realize that, like, I guess aggro, you're gonna get at least one turn, right? Because, like, aggro can't deal 3,000 damage. Aggro can't deal 3,000 damage in their first turn, right? So, you've got, like, at least one turn. And then depending on, like, how consistent your list is, maybe one turn is all you need, right? Like, you draw 6 pass, aggro, like, someone's a Kaiku and attacks you, and then on your second turn you have 7 cards, and you just go, oh, that's game. So, it just... The problem is, like, I don't know. First of all, part of the problem is, like, you're playing, like, only 3 Chaos Monsters, so, like, it's kind of hard to, like, necessarily even be guaranteed to have defusion anyway. Because, like, they can easily just dust shoot back your 1 Chaos Monster, and now, like, your defusions are dead. So, again, kind of like I was talking about with, like, I don't know, sort of more standard Chaos decks. To me, it's, like, either play Chaos or don't play Chaos, right? Like, if you're gonna... Of course, my list still won't load here, because Dueling Book hates me. But yeah, I was just gonna say, like, either play Chaos or don't play Chaos, right? Either play Stein or don't play Stein. I wouldn't try to do, like, half and half. I mean, obviously, like, Stein is a dark, but it's just... The server's gonna restart and... Oh, okay. What I was gonna say is that even if you... Say they get your life, like with this build, say they get your life under 5,000, you're basically hoping that, like, you're gonna be able to OTK them with, like, 2 dead Cybersteins in your deck. Which, okay, maybe sometimes you will, but, like, I think a lot of times you won't. Like, okay, maybe the game will be a little closer, but it's just, again, kind of like I was talking about in some of those games, I felt like I never could go under 5,000 because our deck was sort of committing to Stein. Like, I think you could play Reason Gate with just 1 Stein and be like, okay, if I get the Stein, cool. If I don't, that's also fine. But to me, if you're playing 2 copies of Cyberstein, you're basically saying that you're committing to Stein. And here, you even have 2 Steins and 1 Sangan. So really, it's almost like you're playing 3 Steins. So, here, you're just gonna be very committed to Stein anyway. So, might as well, like, might as well sort of go the full mile, so to speak. So yeah, I think that covers it. And then I don't know. As far as I don't know, I think you need to work on your side decking skills a lot in general. To me, it's like I think of it in terms of, like, okay, what are, like, the popular decks in the meta? What are the decks I should be siding against? What are the cards that are good against them? And to me, like, none of these cards, like, fit the bill, right? Like, okay, like, Thunder Dragon Chaos is popular, but, like, do I really want to side Crossout against that deck? Because if you, like, cross out their Dakochi, now they have, like, 3 Dakochis to bring back off Dimension Fusion. So I feel like there just aren't very many matchups where I'm ever going to want to side in Crossout. Same thing with, like, Book of Moon. Like, what matchup am I going to want to side in Book of Moon for? Right? I just can't really think of anything. Like, same thing with, like, Nobleman of Extermination. Like, okay, like, I get that maybe Nobleman is, like, kind of good versus Warriors, but are you really saying that, like, a heavy 3 True Nades and a Jinzo isn't enough to deal with back row? Like, if we're losing to Warriors, I don't think that's going to be the reason why. And then, like, same thing with Dust Tornado. Like, what are we siding in Dust Tornado against? If it's versus, like, a very back row heavy deck, I'd rather have something like Decree. And same thing with, like, Exiled Force. Like, I know when you messaged me, you said, like, oh, well, Exiled Force kills Spell Canceller. But it's like, what are the odds that our opponent's going to side in Spell Canceller, play the Spell Canceller, and will have exactly Exiled for it, right? I mean, that's just... It's just not going to come up very much. And then, yeah, I mean, you could side Book of Moon for siding Stein into the Last Warrior, but Moxie's problem is, like, most decks in the format, like, don't side Stein. I mean, it's just hard to know specifically when your opponent's going to bring in Stein, right? So, I mean, I guess you could say, well, maybe you win game 1, game 2, your opponent beats you with Stein, and then you side in Book of Moon. But then again, it's like, okay, you have, like, one card for exactly one thing that you care about. For me, it's like, I would rather just have cards that are good against their whole deck, not try to play the game of, like, oh, I'll try to have my one specific card when they have their one specific card. Because normally that's not how probabilities work, right? Like, if there's, you know, you could, say you, like, lose to Karibo, for example, right? Just random example. You could side in DD Designator to counter Karibo, right? When you go for game, go name DD Designator, call Karibo. But, like, you would never consider doing that, right? Because it's like, well, what are the odds, you know, that it's going to line up that way? And it's like the same thing with, like, Last Warrior, Book of Moon. What are the odds that you're going to have exactly Book of Moon when they have exactly Last Warrior? Pretty low. And it would be one thing if, like, Book of Moon did, like, a lot of other things in addition to that. I mean, I guess Book of Moon, it's like, okay, you could side it in against, like, Kaiku as well. But against, like, something like Warriors, I would rather brain control their Kaiku and monster gate it than try to Book of Moon it and hope I can go off that turn. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fine to, like, counter side and go, oh, I think they're gonna bring in this, so I'm gonna bring in this thing that counters it. But your counter has to, like, do more than just be a counter. Yeah, I mean, Book works versus Bolter, but, like, not very many decks can even summon Bolter. Alright, I guess Dueling Book's just down now. I mean, I guess it sort of makes this a good stopping point then. But yeah, it's like, you can't, when you're siding, guys, you can't play too scared. Like, if you're siding out, like, all of your combo pieces so that you can, like, counter things that might stop your combo pieces, you're kind of, like, sort of letting your opponent win in a way. This is sort of like, it was the same philosophy that I had. I mean, I know it might sound unrelated, but it was the same philosophy that I had when I decided, like, not to play hand traps in Monarchs. Where, you know, keep in mind, this was, like, in 2016 or whatever, when the format was all pendulums, and everyone was playing hand traps, and I didn't, because it's like, well, those hand traps could just be more combo pieces, which is what I decided to do. So it's like, this is kind of hard to understand, hard to explain, but, like, if you're playing a combo deck, in order to play a counter instead of a combo piece, your counter has to be a lot better than your combo piece. And normally, just another combo piece would be better than a counter. In most scenarios, in most formats in Yu-Gi-Oh! So yeah, I mean, there are certain cards that I like siding in. Like, against, if I'm playing just standard Reasoning Gate, against aggro, I like siding in Mirror and Torrential if I'm not maining them, because it buys me time, and, like, they're kind of forced to play into it, right? Just due to the nature of the matchup, they just kind of have to play into it. So there's certain things like that where it's like, well, it's not really a combo piece, but by buying me time, it gets me closer to my combo pieces. So in a way, it's like, it's kind of similar. And then, like, other cards you can consider siding is, like, obviously there's no spell canceller in the side, and you can side that yourself for the mirror. Just because, like, for the mirror, it's like, if you activate Reasoning and you have Stein and spell canceller in your deck, they're kind of in a tough spot, because obviously they can call level 2, but then you might hit spell canceller, or they can call level 5, but then he might hit Stein. As far as countering their like Wabaku or Threatening Roar, it like normal Reasoning Gate decks don't care about it that much. Because like okay, you Trunade, they chain Wabaku, and then it's like okay, well I'll just go off next turn instead. And in fact, I never got a chance to show my build because it won't load. But in my build of Reasoning Gate, I only play like one Trunade because with like the standard Reasoning Gate list, you don't need to clear their back rows that much. So like you can just play through them most of the time. Like if you understand what cards they play and you sort of understand how your deck works, you can kind of play through everything. So, if you Trunade and they chain Wabaku, it's like, okay, maybe I don't have the Trunade next turn, but usually that doesn't matter. Usually you can just still go off anyways. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, the page doesn't, like, even want to start loading. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would try different builds, Doors. I would play, try some matches with Standard Reasoning Gate, try some matches with sort of a more Stein-oriented build. And just through experience, you should hopefully sort of, like, learn the fundamentals of just playing combo decks more generally. Because they kind of do play differently than other decks. And with Reasoning Gate in general, like, I don't really side a lot, to be honest. Because again, you don't want to side out too many combo pieces. So like against your standard like Thunder Dragon Chaos deck, like you probably just don't side anything, to be honest. You're just like, oh, okay, I don't really care about any of your cards that much. Or at least that's usually a position that I feel like I'm in. So yeah, I'm gonna call the stream. I will just reiterate it again. If you guys want me to review your decks, review your duels, try out your deck, whatever it is, sub to me on Twitch, or become a YouTube member, join my YouTube thing. Either one of those works. And yeah, second episode of my new podcast will be Tuesday. I have it scheduled for Tuesday. And then I will show off some of the new features on my dueling sim. So if you want to see the new dueling sim features, then that means you have to watch the podcast, or at least load it and then go all the way to the end. But yeah, that's it. So thanks to people who subbed. I'm gonna call it a night here. Dueling Book sucks. Take care.